I will faithfully execute.
That I will faithfully execute.
The office of President of the United States.
From this day forward, it's going to be only America first. America first.
Trump administration's first term showed us what they're capable of, and particularly showed their lack of commitment to human rights. But Project 2025 and the statements that we've heard from the president have already begun to demonstrate that there will be an all-out assault, essentially, on migrant rights in the United States with this talk of mass roundups. We have seen, consistently there's been support for the ongoing attacks on women's reproductive rights and LGBT rights.
We have people coming into the country or trying to come in. We're stopping a lot of them. But we're taking people out of the country. You wouldn't believe how bad these people are. These aren't people. These are animals. We're going to build the wall. Mexico's going to pay for the wall. We're going to stop drugs from coming in.
But it would be a mistake for us to assume that the damage to the human rights system and to human rights as a whole will be domestic, because the tone that the US and that Trump in particular has been setting is one that is emboldening other autocrats or want-to-be autocrats around the world. We have seen Trump speak, rather positively about, the sort of strong men and the anti-rights leaders.
Before I even arrive at the Oval Office, shortly after I win the presidency, I will have the horrible war between Russia and Ukraine settled, and it would have never happened. It would have never, ever happened if I was there. I used to talk to Putin about it. I've said it very openly. I talked to him about it. It was the apple of his eye. I said, don't do it, Vladimir. Don't do it, Vladimir.
Obviously, Trump has promised to conduct mass deportations, and that's likely to affect millions of Mexicans who live undocumented in the US, but also their families who rely on their remittances in Mexico. So it's not just that there'll be mass migrations, but these roundups will also risk putting people into detention facilities without any sort of judicial recourse, the possibility for once again seeing families separated, children being put into detention facilities are all of serious concern when we hear the sort of language and the threats of these mass roundups and mass deportations. If the Trump administration is to retreat from institutions, then this is going to be a godsend for China's ambitions to reshape the international system to its advantage. It's going to leave the road wide open for Beijing to take forward its long-standing efforts to undermine the global human rights regime, kneecap accountability mechanisms, and it will provide diplomatic cover for rights abusing regimes from Russia to Myanmar.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. We have between us, and we have to include some other countries which would quickly come in. We have capacity in the United States, knowing that the United States really has to do our
2024 was not a proud moment for the outgoing administration. I think the blight on the Biden administration is most definitely going to be not only their inaction when it came to the situation of protecting civilians in Gaza, but rather that they have essentially fueled some of the crimes that have been committed by continuing to provide military assistance to the Israeli government, even as there has been mounting evidence of US weapons being used in the commission of war crimes in Gaza.
Not a penny, not a dollar.